Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. My name is John Henderson. Welcome to this series of old-time radio show episodes called Gee Whiz. These are the stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers, Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. A little later on, we have an unrehearsed debate, and Archie gets laryngitis. Some swell episodes. But we're starting things off with a visit to the home of Henry Aldrich. This episode is from November 24th, 1944, but the script for this episode was used again later in 1953.
Well, are you sure? Because I feel very responsible for that bicycle. And Eleanor. And the dance.
Well, you haven't one thing to worry about. Now, you run upstairs and put your coat on.
Yes, Mother, sure. Thanks very much.
Here's the earlier version of the full episode of The Aldrich Family, November 24th, 1944.
Henry Aldrich!
Coming, Mother!
The Aldrich Family, a special rebroadcast for you soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the United Nations.
And now for the Aldrich Family with Dick Jones as Henry and Jackie Kelk as Homer. The wonderful thing about the teenage time of your life is the fact that you can experience it twice. Once in your own teenage and continually thereafter in the misadventures of your own or your neighbor's Henry Aldrich. The scene opens in the Aldrich living room. The time is evening.
Sam, I don't think you're looking at it from Henry's point of view.
You're quite right, I'm not. I'm looking at it from Mr. McCall's, or whatever his name is, point of view. And if you'll remember, Alice, I advised Henry in the first place not to take that job unless he was sure he could stick to it.
Sam, that's the whole point. Henry isn't working tonight because he isn't supposed to work. He's taking Kathleen to a very nice dance at the country club.
Yes? Well, then what's all the fuss about?
Dear, there isn't any fuss. Mr. McCall, who hires him, phoned a few minutes ago and wanted to know where the bicycle is.
The what?
The bicycle that Henry delivers packages from the drugstore on.
You mean he's lost it?
No, Sam, of course he hasn't. The bicycle is right out on the front porch. Henry didn't understand that he was to return it tonight. And don't you think Mr. McCall could be reasonable and let him bring it back tomorrow? Because there isn't any other way, is there?
Alice, you aren't by any chance leading up to the suggestion that I take it back, are you?
Sam, that hadn't even entered my head. Would you want to?
I would not. And Alice, no matter how far Henry has to take that bicycle, if his employer wants it, he should have it.
But do you think his employer realizes that Henry's only young once, and that this is one of the most important dances the club is going to have all season?
No, I don't imagine he does.
Do you?
Do I what? Yes, I realize a boy is young only once. And a man reaches my age only once. And I'm going to sit in this chair and read this paper and not deliver any bicycle.
Mother, are you too busy to fix my necktie, please?
No, Henry. Sit down on the arm of this chair while I straighten it.
Okay. Did I just hear you and Father talking about Mr. McCall's bicycle?
You did.
Well, look, Father, be sure to remember this. When you first push back on the brake, your feet will go all the way around once. But on the second time around, you'll stop. At least you'll usually stop.
I won't stop at all.
You won't? You mean Mother didn't have a chance to explain things to you?
Henry, if I gave you the impression that I was going to ask your father to take that bicycle back for you, I'm afraid you misunderstood me. The one I'm going to ask, dear, is Mary.
Mary? Mary isn't even here.
She will be. She'll be back any minute.
Are you sure? Because I feel very responsible for that bicycle. And Kathleen, and the dance.
You haven't one thing to worry about. Now run upstairs and put your coat on.
Yes, Mother, sure. Thanks very much.
Sam, did you see that?
Did I see what?
How conscientious he is about it. He wouldn't even put his coat on until I assured him Mary is going to be here.
All right, Alice. But remember, Mr. McCall has to have that bicycle.
Sam, you talk just as though returning a bicycle were the most awful problem in the world.
Mother!
Yes, Mary, are you back?
Yes, and my goodness, Mother, look at what I've just done to my brand new stocking.
Mary Aldrich, how did you do that?
On that old bicycle that's out on the front porch. And, Mother, I was going to wear these stockings to the dance tonight.
Mary, you didn't tell me you were going to the dance.
Mother, don't you remember? I told you at breakfast this morning, and I'm late as it is.
You mean you haven't time to...
Haven't time to what?
Nothing, dear. You're only young once. Go on up and get your clothes changed. I'm going to put in a phone call. Hello?
Number, please.
Elm 232.
Elm 232.
Mother, don't you think it would be all right if I tell Henry he has to pay for these stockings?
Mary, Henry only earns 50 cents for a whole afternoon's work, and those stockings cost 89.
No, Mother, they cost $1.08.
And that makes it worse. Aren't you ashamed?
Hello, Mrs. Brown speaking.
Hello, Elizabeth. This is Alice Aldrich. Is Homer there?
Why, just a minute, Alice. Homer, you'll go to the telephone. Alice, while he's on the way, I want to ask you, did you know about the Allisons' party?
The Allisons? Are they giving a party?
Yes, dear. I understand they've invited scads of people.
Really? When is it?
It's tonight.
Tonight, Elizabeth. Aren't you invited?
No. Aren't you invited?
No, I guess you and I aren't included.
Isn't that terrible? I'm not surprised about myself, Alice, but after all, you've entertained the Allisons.
Well, that's the way things are, Elizabeth. You never know.
Oh, just a minute, Alice. Here's Homer. Hello? Homer, can't you say hello, Mrs. Aldrich? I didn't know it was Mrs. Aldrich. Hello, Mrs. Aldrich.
Hello, dear.
Mother, could you be lacing my shoes? How are you, Mrs. Aldrich?
Homer, how would you like to earn a little money?
Some money? Boy.
It won't be very much, but it'll probably come in very handy.
Okay, sure. When do you want me? Tomorrow morning?
No, dear, tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, dear, you can do the whole thing tonight.
Wait, I'm not working tonight, Mrs. Aldrich. I'm meeting Agnes at the country club.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to do just one little errand?
Gee, no, I've got to save myself to dance.
Well, I suppose you're only young once.
What's that?
Nothing, Homer. Goodbye.
Mother!
Come here, Henry. I'm afraid I have something I have to tell you.
You have, Mother? Boy, how do I look? How do you like my hair this way?
Henry,
Gee, I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate your fixing things up for me. Are you sure Mary will be back in time?
Mary's already back. The only thing
Mother,
is...
there isn't another guy in this town that has a mother that... You know what I mean?
Henry, you don't have to hug me quite so tight.
I was just giving you a little squeeze. What was it you wanted to say to me?
Nothing, dear. You go right on and have a good time.
Okay, good night, Mother.
Don't stay out late.
Okay, and explain to Mary how responsible I feel about that bicycle.
Why, hello there, Mrs. Aldrich. Don't tell me you're out wheeling a baby at this time of night.
Good evening, Mrs. Hooper. No, this is a bicycle.
A what?
A delivery bicycle. It has a sidecar.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I recognized your face, but I couldn't place the sidecar.
I'm just pushing it over here to Mr. McCall's drugstore. Very good exercise.
Something I can do for you, madam?
Why, yes. Are you Mr. McCall?
Yes, ma'am.
Why, I've just returned your bicycle for Henry Aldrich.
Oh, yes. Where's Henry? I've got a couple of packages for him to deliver.
Tonight? I answered the phone, Mr. McCall, and I don't remember your saying anything about it when you called.
And why did you think I wanted the bicycle? I understood the boy was responsible. I didn't go to him about the job. He came to me.
Mr. McCall, let me make one thing clear. Henry feels most responsible about his work here.
Yeah? All right. Can you get him on the phone and tell him to come right down here?
I'm very sorry, but he left the house before I did.
Oh, are you his sister?
His sister? Do I? Really?
Now, look, I've got a new store here. I'm trying my best to please my customers. A couple of orders come in, and I promise them. And then your brother lets me down. What am I going to do?
Well, if Henry's being put in the position of... Where do your packages go?
You'll take them out for me?
Well,
There's $1.40 due on this one, and 90 cents on this cough medicine.
Yes, sir.
And look out for the brake on the bicycle.
The bicycle? You don't mean I have to ride it, do you?
Lady, do you realize how far you have to take those packages?
Well, my goodness.
Hello? McCall's Pharmacy.
This is Mrs. Allison. May I ask about my ice cream?
This is who?
Mrs. Allison, over on North Street. And I have a whole dining room full of guests waiting for it.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Allison. The girl just left with that.
Gee, Kathleen, this is a swell dance. Boy, am I having a good time.
Are you, Henry? So am I. I never had a better time in my life.
Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, hello, Homer.
Could I have the next dance with you?
I'm sorry, Homer, but I promised it to Henry.
You have?
Boy, am I having a bum time.
Gee whiz, what's the matter, Homer?
Agnes, do you know what she did? She was so anxious to get here, she ran out of her front door and rolled right down the steps. She had to go back and change her clothes all over again.
Really? Hello, Mary.
Mary, my sister?
Yes, there she is.
Was she coming here?
Hello, Kathleen.
Mary, did you have any trouble with that brake?
With what brake?
Did you notice how your foot slips off the pedal the first time?
My foot what?
Mary, don't you know the bicycle?
I certainly do know about it. I tripped right over it, and you owe me a pair of new stockings.
I do. Just for taking it back to Mr. McCall?
For taking what back?
The bicycle. Didn't Mother tell you?
She didn't even mention it, Henry.
Oh, boy.
Henry, where you going?
I'll be back, Kathleen, just as soon as I get something straightened out. Homer! Oh, Homer!
Alice? Alice? Alice, are you upstairs? Alice! Hello, Sam Aldrich speaking.
Sam, this is Alice.
What's that? Alice, when did you leave the house?
Why, quite a while ago. And, dear, I hate to bother you when I know you're reading your paper, but I'm afraid you'll have to come over and get me.
Get you?
Yes, I have a flat tire.
Yeah. You mean you took the car?
No, dear, I took... Well...
You what?
Nothing, Sam. Just forget it. Goodbye.
Alice, what is it you're talking about? Alice, where are you?
Hello, can you hear me, Mother?
Yes, Homer, and I'm sorry, but your father says he absolutely won't help you out.
But, Mother, doesn't he understand what's happened? Henry gave me 50 cents provided I'd go over to his house and get a delivery bicycle he has and take it to McCall's drugstore, see?
Yes?
And just after I took the 50 cents and bought some punch with it, who do you think showed up?
Who?
Agnes, with a different dress on. And before she'd even dance, she had to have some punch, too. Boy, she went right through 20 cents.
Well, dear, I'll have to talk with your father.
Do you think you can get him to take the bicycle over?
Dear, you don't have to worry. You go on with your dancing. After all, you're only young once.
Boy, Mother, thanks. Is that a load off my mind?
Get over on your own side of the street.
And suppose you get over on your side, you... Alice Aldrich, is that you on that machine? Harriet, is that you? Look out or I'll run over you.
Banana, can't you stop?
Not the first time I back up my feet. There. Now, help me off.
Alice, may I ask what you're doing?
Harriet, you're just the person I want to see. Could you take this package of ice cream into the Allisons' house here?
What are you doing?
Delivering packages.
Christmas packages? This early?
Harriet, the Allisons are giving a party in there, and they're waiting for their ice cream, and I haven't been invited, and so you'll just have to take it in for me.
But, Alice, I'm late for a bridge party over at the Andersons.
But don't you understand? Dressed the way I am, I don't want to go into the Allisons.
And frankly, neither do I. They'll only think I'm trying to crash their party.
Now, Harriet, do you remember on your 13th birthday when you was too bashful to ask Bill Townsend to your party, and I did it for you? And you swore you'd do anything in the world for me any time I asked you?
No.
Harriet, you did so. Well, look, you're going right over by Maple Street. Could you at least leave this bottle of cough syrup at 227?
Is it important?
It's very important. Mr. McCall just started a new drugstore, and Henry's trying to help him out.
Well, all right.
And incidentally, Harriet, there's 90 cents due on the cough syrup. Don't lose it in the bridge game.
Hello, McCall's Pharmacy. Lady, I sent that cough syrup out from here nearly 40 minutes ago. That's right. I've got a new delivery girl, see? And you know how it is these days. You've got to take just about anything you can get. What's that? Oh, well, when the girl gets there, you give her the bottle you want refilled and tell her to bring it right in here. Oh, forget it. What trouble is it? Goodbye.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Something I can do for you?
Could you tell me, have you seen my wife this evening?
Your wife?
Isn't this where Henry Aldrich works?
Well, this is where he's supposed to work.
But what I mean is, did my wife bring a bicycle down here?
Oh, are you Henry's brother-in-law? Why, how do you do?
I beg your pardon?
I don't want to complain about your wife, sir, but I sent her out with some packages over an hour ago.
Some packages?
Yes, and I've got some more for her to take out, and she hasn't come back yet.
You mean Alice? My wife?
And what I want to know is what you're going to do about it.
What I'm going to do about it?
I suppose that your family was the kind that could be relied on.
And we are the kind that can be relied on. That's why we're helping you out.
Well, what do you mean by we? I haven't seen you do anything yet.
What's that?
Listen, I'm going to go out and deliver a couple of more orders. You stay here and take care of the store.
What's that?
And if there's anything you can't find, just ask.
Ask? Ask who?
Kathleen, do you mind if I suggest something?
What, Henry?
Let's sit this next dance out.
All right.
As a matter of fact, let's go out on the porch and get some air.
All right.
Boy, do I feel good. Ever since I got Homer lined up to take that bicycle back for me. It just goes to show.
What goes to show?
I was just talking to Mr. Scott a few minutes ago, and he asked me whether I wouldn't like a job working for him.
Really?
Provided I can give him some good references. And gee, I wouldn't hesitate a minute asking Mr. McCall for one.
Henry, who's that girl down there? Isn't that Agnes Lawson?
Where?
The end of the porch. Don't you see her in the moonlight? Who do you suppose that boy is?
Let's walk down and see. Wait till I tell Homer. Wait till I tell Homer.
Now listen, Henry, you keep away from here.
Homer, is that you?
Come on, Agnes, let's get away from there.
Hey, Homer, how about my bicycle? Don't you realize my reputation's at stake?
We'll be back with the Aldrich family in just a moment.
Now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Because she has decided her son is young only once, Mrs. Aldrich has consented to return a bicycle for Henry in order that he may go to the country club dance. As the scene opens, Homer Brown's father is speaking.
Hello? Hello.
Hello. This is Elizabeth Brown speaking.
Hello, Elizabeth. This is Will.
Who?
Will, your husband. I can't find that bicycle of Henry's.
Did you look all over their yard?
I've walked into every tree out there, and there's still no sign of it.
Well, Will, where are you now?
I'm in the Aldrich's front hall. And, Elizabeth, I'm in my house slippers, and I'm standing in water.
In water?
I can't be responsible if they aren't more careful where they put their vases of flowers.
Well, dear, you've just got to find that bicycle. Homer says Henry was very much concerned about it being taken back, and he won't enjoy the dance one bit if he knows you've fallen down on him.
I'll give it 10 more minutes, and then I quit. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Where did that come from? Hold your horses. Hello?
Hello, is this you, Father?
Is this Homer? Where are you?
It isn't Homer, it's Henry.
It is. Well, this is Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, gee whiz, did I get the wrong number? Goodbye, Father.
Now, wait. Where's your bicycle? Hello?
Excuse me, but could you give me some information?
What is it you'd like to know, lady?
Have you any idea where number 227 would be here on Maple Street?
Let's see now. Isn't it this house right here?
No, I was just in there, and they haven't had a cold all year.
What's that?
227 Maple Street ordered this cough syrup, and I'd like to get rid of it so I can go to a bridge party.
How about trying that house across the street?
I tried that one, too. They said they don't think there is any 227.
Let's see the address on your package.
Here you are.
That's 227, all right. Or 277.
It's what?
And that certainly says Maple Street, or is it Marble?
Marble?
Well, I wouldn't get discouraged, lady. You're on the right track anyhow.
Now, then, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Is there something I can do for you?
Yes, sir. I'd like a chocolate frosted.
A chocolate what?
Frosted.
Oh, that's something to drink, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's made with chocolate syrup, milk, and ice cream.
Yes, and that's all?
And then you put it in that mixer.
Yeah? Well, that sounds easy enough. Now, then, we'll get a glass. There we are.
Oh, my goodness. Do I get one that big?
Well, I think this is a drinking glass. It couldn't be just an ornament, could it? Now, let's see. I guess the logical thing would be to start with the chocolate. Chocolate. You wouldn't be interested in strawberry, would you?
No, thank you.
I've got strawberry right here. But, of course, lemon, sarsaparilla. Maybe they keep the chocolate in one of these bowls. Oh, no, that's the cherries. How would you like to have me throw a cherry in?
No, thank you. How about that other bowl?
This one?
Yes, what's in that?
Well, I never saw anything like that before. It's sort of a lather.
Isn't that whipped cream?
So it is. It's been a long time since I've seen any whipped cream.
Isn't this chocolate right here?
Oh, yes. Good for you. Well, here we go.
Oh, my goodness, isn't that quite a lot of chocolate? Are you going to have room for the milk?
Oh, yes. If we don't, we'll get another glass and I'll drink part of it.
Haven't you ever done this before?
Well, not as a general rule. Actually, I'm a lawyer.
Oh, and you have to take this job night.
Well, I have to take it tonight anyhow. Now, let's see. Here's the ice cream. I wonder what they take it out with.
Isn't there a scoop?
No, and I certainly don't want to use my hands.
My goodness, no.
Oh, here it is, right here. Now then.
Is that vanilla?
Oh, yes. You can't fool me on vanilla. Well.
All you have to do is pull that little jigger, and the ice cream drops right out.
Yes, I realize that. But for some reason, would you excuse me a minute while I go out and back and see whether I can find a screwdriver?
Good evening.
Good evening. Are you Mrs. Allison's maid?
I am.
Don't tell me that's the ice cream you have.
I'm afraid it is. I was delayed a little on the way, and...
You were delayed. Wasn't that you I saw standing right out in front of the house for the last 15 minutes?
Yes, I was trying to get some boy. That is, I'm sorry, but here's your ice cream. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it.
Thank you.
And there's $1.40 due on it.
All right. Wait right out there.
That's what I intend to do.
Oh, Amy. Yes, Mrs. Allison, it's finally here, and there's $1.40 collect on it.
All right, I'll go right out and pay the boy.
Isn't a boy, it's a girl.
A girl?
Yes, ma'am. Now then, young woman, here's your $1.40 and 10 cents. Oh, my goodness, is that you, Mrs. Aldrich?
Why, yes. Yes, good evening, Mrs. Allison.
Well, where's the young woman that brought the ice cream? What did she do? Go on back to the store?
Well, Yes, I guess she must have.
And look at my keeping you standing here. I'm so glad you decided to come. Where's Mr. Aldrich?
Oh, no, I couldn't think of coming in.
Why not? We'd love to have you.
Oh, really, Mrs. Allison? As a matter of fact, I don't know why I came over at all.
No? Well, was there something you wanted, dear?
No, just forget the whole thing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, did you hurt yourself, Mrs. Aldrich?
No, I just fell over my bicycle.
Say, isn't there anybody in charge of this store?
The clerk just went around and back again.
Yes?
He's been making me a chocolate frosting for the last half hour. He ran into a little trouble.
Yes. Mr. McCall, hello there.
I'll be right out.
I only have a minute. I want to get back home.
Now then, what can I do for you?
Here's what I want to ask. Say, is that you, Sam Aldrich?
Hello, Will Brown.
What are you doing in that apron?
Why, Will, I unfortunately put some lemon ice cream in this chocolate frosted, and you know any place I could throw it?
Sam, I can't find that bicycle anywhere. Where is it?
Oh, that's all right. Alice has it.
Alice has it?
She's out delivering.
She's what? Listen, Sam, have you bought this drugstore?
Mr. McCall! Oh, my, Sam Aldrich.
Harriet, where did you come from?
Sam, I finally found 227 Maple Street, but the lady says I can't have my 90 cents until I get this bottle filled for them.
What's it for?
I don't know, but I've got a bridge game waiting.
Well, just a minute, Harriet. Hello, McCall's Pharmacy. Good evening.
Hello, Mr. McCall. This is Henry.
This is who?
Henry Aldrich, remember? I've called up to say I've resigned.
Henry, this is your father.
Is that you, Father? Gee whiz, how'd I get the wrong number? Goodbye.
But Henry!
Young man, what about my frosted chocolate?
Just a minute, lady, and I'll be right with you. Will, come behind this counter and give me a hand.
Why?
Mr. McCall! Oh, Mr. McCall!
Alice, is that you?
Sam Aldrich, how did you happen to leave the house in a dirty apron?
You want me to get chocolate all over my suit?
Well, dear, have you got $1.40? Because if you have, give it to Mr. McCall right away because I'm quitting.
You're what? Hello, McCall's Pharmacy. Good evening.
Is this McCall?
It is.
This is Henry Aldrich, Mr. McCall.
Henry, don't you know your own father when he speaks to you?
Listen, Father, I thought you said this was McCall. How do I keep getting the wrong number? Goodbye.
Henry! Wait.
Yes, Father. Did you want me?
Why are you quitting your job down here?
I've got a swell one with Mr. Scott.
Doing what?
It's nice outdoor work, mixing cement. Don't you think Mother would like me to have me take it?
Now, Henry, you're not to get your mother mixed up in any cement.
picture you're drawing?
I'm not drawing any picture, Henry. I'm just doodling.
Doodling? That looks like a bicycle you drew.
It is a bicycle.
What's that thing that's riding it?
Mother love.
Mother love? And what are those things lying in the street that it just ran over?
Those are my pride, my common sense, and my reputation.
The Aldrich Family is written by Clifford Goldsmith with music by Jack Miller. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Catherine Rock.
That was the Aldrich Family from 1944. And now, the Archies.
She's putting me through changes. Good changes. She's putting me through changes. Good changes. There's no change in her now. Wow, I feel like there's no change in her now.
In this episode of Archie Andrews, they mentioned the stop-motion short, Tubby the Tuba.
Once upon a time, there was an orchestra which was all busy tuning up. Oh, but Tubby the tuba, a fat little tuba, puffing away, but oh, so slow. Oh, what lovely music, thought Tubby.
Here is Archie from November 27th, 1948.
Hello?
Hello, Judge. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, here he is again, the youngster millions of readers of Archie Comics magazine know and love so well. Archie Andrews and all his gang. And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's late Saturday afternoon as we look in on the Andrews, and we find Mrs. Andrews working around the living room.
Pretty, I love you just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Oh, Fred, you're home.
Yes, dear, I'm home, and glad of it.
Glad of it.
Yes, dear, I thought I was going to get some Christmas shopping done early, but you know something?
What?
I think everybody else in town had the same idea.
Oh, dear, what a shame. Were the stores very crowded?
Oh, no. Why, 2 or 3 times I went the way I wanted to go instead of the way the crowd pushed me.
Oh, that's a shame, dear. But tell me, did you get any of the things you wanted?
Uh-huh. I got a bow tie for Uncle Harry.
A bow tie? Is that all?
That's all.
Well, where is it?
Oh, I had him send it there. I didn't have the strength to take it with me.
Oh, Fred.
Well, I didn't, Maria. Oh, I've never been so tired in all my life.
Well, don't you worry, dear. As soon as you get some dinner under your belt, you'll feel better.
I hope so. How soon do we eat?
Oh, in about an hour.
Oh, an hour, eh?
Mm.
Oh, that's fine. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
Stretch out on this couch and take me a nap before dinner.
Fred, that's a good idea. A nice little nap will do you good.
Oh, it certainly will. I'll go up and hang up my coat and then go on up and get my slippers, and then I'm going to lie down on that couch, and I'm not going to move for anything. Not for anything in the whole wide... Oh, my God. Oh,
poor Fred. Every time he goes shopping, he comes home a complete wreck. Oh, Archie, is that you?
Yes, Mom, it's me.
Good, I was wondering. Archie, what did you say?
I said it's me.
Archie, what's the matter with your voice?
Oh, Mom,
Can't you talk?
Oh, Mom,
Do you have a cold?
Mom,
Are you sick?
Mom,
Let me touch your forehead.
Mom, can't you listen for just a minute? I tell you I'm not sick.
Well, you certainly sound sick.
I know it, but I feel fine. The trouble is that I just came from the football game.
Football game?
Uh-huh. Riverdale High played Middleburg. I guess I yelled too much.
Oh, for pity's sake. Archie, you mean to say that you shouted so much at that football game that you lost your voice?
Uh-huh.
Oh, dear. Archie, how could you do a thing like that?
Oh, it was easy, Mom. I just kept yelling, "We want a touchdown, we want a touchdown." Pretty soon, no voice. No touchdown either.
Oh, dear. Well, we have to do something about that right away.
But, Mom, I'm okay. I really
Archie,
feel
you
fine.
may be okay, but I'm still taking no chances. A strained throat is nothing to fool with. Now, you march right upstairs and gargle with some warm salt water.
But, Mama...
Archie, no buts about it. You go upstairs and gargle.
But, Mama...
Archie, gargle.
Okay, I'll gargle. But you'd think I was 6 years old the way you act. Gargle.
That boy, losing his voice at a football game. Sometimes I think he hasn't got the sense of a 2-year-old. I better go make him some hot tea.
Oh, my back. Mary, I swear I have never been so tired in all my... Mary? Oh, where'd she go? Oh, probably getting dinner, I guess. Well, good. House is nice and quiet. Oh, this couch feels good. Ooh. Yes, sir. Good grief, what was that? Could have sworn I heard something strange. Oh, it's nothing, I guess. Oh, I must be tired when I start... Good heavens, there it is again. Mary! 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 Mary, there's something in the house. An animal.
Fred.
Or a bird.
Fred.
Or a parrot or something.
Fred.
It sounds like it's strangling. Oh, Mary!
Fred, will you listen to me?
Mary.
It's only Archie.
Yes, that's what I thought. Archie!
Yes, Archie.
Mary, do you mean to tell me that Archie is making that horrible sound?
Yes, dear, he is.
Well, how?
He's gargling.
Oh, good. For a minute, I thought he was gargling. Mary, what on earth is he gargling for?
Because he's a little hoarse today.
Sometimes he's a big jackass. But what is he gargling about?
Fred, you don't understand. I mean, his throat is hoarse. He went to the football game and he shouted too much and his voice is gone.
Oh, fine. But what good does gargling do?
I don't know, but there's no sense taking any chance with a strained throat, and gargling might help.
Oh, nonsense. I never heard of anyone gargling because he was hoarse. Come on through, Mom. Hiya, Dad. What did you say? I said, hiya, Dad. Look, Archie, maybe you'd better go back upstairs and gargle some more. Gee whiz, Dad, I just gargled 2 glasses full of salt water.
See what I mean, Fred? Isn't his voice awful?
Voice? That sounds more like somebody sandpapering a block of cement. Gee whiz, Dad, I know it, and I don't know what I'm going to do tonight.
Tonight? What do you mean tonight?
Well, Betty's having a party tonight, and I'm taking Veronica.
Archie, you're doing no such thing.
Huh?
You're not leaving this house until your throat's better.
Not leaving the house open. Mom, I gotta go
Archie,
to this party.
I don't care to hear
Betty's
anything
gotta...
about it. You're staying home tonight.
Oh, Mary, let the boy go. It's only...
Fred, I don't care what it is. I'm not having him come down with bronchitis or something.
Oh, but Mom, be reasonable.
Archie,
your mother is right.
Of course I'm right. If he stays home tonight, he'll be all right tomorrow. But if you go out, Archie, you're liable to have to spend a week in bed.
Mary, look, could you settle this argument some other place?
Fred, it's not an argument.
Well, Mary,
I'm simply looking out for Archie's welfare, that's all.
Mary,
What's
I
the
wa-
mother for if not to look after her son?
Mary, all right. So it's not an argument, dear, and you're just looking after Archie's welfare. But if you don't mind, I'm trying to take a nap here, so would you please go be a mother in the kitchen?
What?
Take Archie out in the kitchen and settle your discussion out there.
Oh, for pity's sake. All right, dear. Archie, I still say you're staying home tonight.
But, Mom, Betty's expecting me, and
Archie, I don't care who's expecting you. You should have thought of that when you started with...
But, Mom, how did I know I'd get lost to you if I was just going to... Oh, I'm glad that's settled. I don't know why everything has to happen in this house. All I want to do is take a nap. And, well, what am I waiting for? Oh, that's better. Loses his voice at a football game. I don't know.
Gee
Those
whiz.
Oh, fine. Archie, I thought I asked you to argue someplace else.
I did, Dad, and I lost.
You mean you're staying home?
I guess so. Mom won't let me go out.
That's probably the best way. One evening at home won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Now,
I suppose so.
If you don't mind, Archie, I'm trying to take a little nap before dinner. So
Oh, sure, Dad, as soon as I call Betty.
Call Betty. What for?
Oh, I gotta tell her I won't be at the party.
Oh, me. All right, Archie. Call Betty, but be quick about it, huh?
Oh, yes, Dad, I will.
Call Betty. All right.
Number, please.
Riverdale 647.
Number, please.
Riverdale 647.
Number, please.
Oh, great, she can't hear me. Operator, I want Riverdale 647.
Hello, sir. Are you there?
Yes, operator, I'm here. I want 647.
Would you speak a little louder, please?
Operator, I can't speak any louder. I want 647.
What number do you want, please?
Oh, fine. Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, the operator can't hear me.
Good.
Number, please.
But, Dad, I can't call Betty if I can't give the operator the number.
Oh, Archie, what do you want me to do about it?
Well, tell the operator the number for me.
Archie, I'm trying to take a nap.
Number, please.
Just a minute, operator. Dad, just give the operator the number, and then I can finish the call.
Hello?
Oh, me.
Number,
All
please.
right, Archie. Here, I'll give her the number. Hand me the phone.
Here, Dad.
Hello, operator. Hello, operator. We want Riverdale 647.
That's much better, sir. Was there something wrong with your phone?
No, operator. There's something wrong with my son.
Your son? Did you say your son?
Yes, my son. You see, he...
I can hear you now, sir, but it still doesn't sound right. All I can make out was something about your son.
The operator, look, all I said was something about my son, and you couldn't hear me before because I wasn't talking.
You still don't sound right, sir. Are you using the right end of the phone?
Operator, look, I'm using the right end of the phone, and I'm trying to tell you it was my son calling before, and he has laryngitis because he... Never mind, operator. Just get me Riverdale 647, please.
Yes, sir. One moment, please.
Oh.
Riverdale 647.
Is she getting it, Dad?
Yes, Archie, she's ringing it now. Here's the phone.
Okay, Dad, thanks a lot.
Don't mention it. Am I using the right end of the phone? How do I get into these things? I don't...
Hello?
Hello, Betty, this is Archie. I just
Hello?
called. Oh, fine. Betty, this is Archie. I just
Hello?
called.
Hello?
Betty, this is Archie. I just called. Ouch! Oh, Betty, quit jiggling that thing in my
Hello?
ear.
Hello?
Betty.
Wrong number again.
Betty, wait, Betty. Hello?
Yeah. Now what happened, Archie?
Dad, Betty couldn't hear me either, and she hung up.
Oh, fine. Archie, why don't you go over there and tell her?
But, Dad, Mom won't let me get out of the house. Please, Dad, call Betty again for me.
Archie, I'm trying to take a nap now, will you?
But, Dad, I gotta let Betty know I'm not coming to the party.
Oh, all right, Archie. I'll make the call for you. But, Archie, the next time you go to a football game...
Yes, Dad.
Keep your big mouth shut.
Yes, Dad.
Number, please.
Riverdale 647.
One moment, please. Riverdale 647. Hello?
Hello, Betty. This is Mr. Andrews.
Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews.
Betty, I'm calling for Archie.
Archie, oh, he isn't here.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Betty. Betty, wait. No. I'm not looking for Archie, dear. I'm calling you because he can't.
What?
Betty, now listen carefully, and I'll try to explain. Archie has laryngitis.
Oh, golly, he has?
Yes, he has. And he can hardly be heard, but he wants to talk to you anyway.
Oh, golly, put him on.
Yes, Betty, I will. But don't hang up if you don't hear anything, because that'll be Archie.
Okay.
Okay. Here, Archie.
Thanks, Dad.
Interpreter for a case of laryngitis yet. I don't know.
Hello, Betty.
Oh, is that as loud as you can speak, Archie?
Oh, yeah, Betty, and I got the phone right close to my mouth. Can you hear me?
Just about. What did you want to say?
Well, just that I can't come over tonight.
Oh, of course you'll be all right.
No, I said I can't come over tonight to the party.
What?
Party.
Who's the smarty?
Betty, no, Betty, listen carefully. Mom won't let me out. Did you hear that?
Yes, your mother won't let you out. Are you sick?
No, I got this voice from yelling.
What?
I was yelling.
Smelling? Who's smelling?
Betty, nobody's smelling. I can't come over tonight.
What?
Just a minute, Betty. Dad, would you...
No, Archie, I would not.
But, Dad, I just wanted...
Archie, for the last time, I'm trying to take a nap.
She was... Hello, Betty. Betty, I said hello. Betty! Oh, Betty! Oh, great, she doesn't hear me.
Is that you, Archie?
Yes, Betty, it's me.
Golly, Archie, if your voice is so bad, you better not try to come to my party tonight.
Oh, fine. Betty, that's just what I've been trying to say.
You just go to bed and get well.
Yes,
and I
ma'am.
hope you feel better real soon. Bye now, Archie.
Oh, goodbye, Betty. Oh, boy, I never realized how important a voice is.
Yes, sir.
I say I never realized how important a voice is.
Archie, that's a very interesting philosophy, but if you're all through calling Betty, please go upstairs. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh, sure, Dad. As soon as I call Veronica.
All right, and I call Veronica. Archie, do we have to go through all that again? I don't. Oh, great. Archie, go see who it is.
Oh, sure, Dad. But I gotta call Veronica and tell her, too. She's my date.
Oh, great. Archie, if you're talking to me, don't. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, Dad, okay.
Hello.
Oh, Jughead, hiya. Come on in.
Okay, I will.
What are you doing here, anyway?
I just stopped by to find out how you like the game this afternoon.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
Yeah? What are we whispering about?
I
I don't know what you're whispering about, Jug, but I got laryngitis. Oh, okay.
Laryngitis? You got laryngitis?
Oh, good grief. Is that Jughead?
What'd you expect? Tubby the Tuba?
No, Jughead, but I prefer him to you.
Gee, what are you doing, Mr. Andrews? Taking a nap?
Oh, Jug, I was...
Boy, my mother never lets my father sleep on the living room couch.
That's
If he tries to, she stops him with a newspaper.
Jughead! Your mother and father are very interesting, but I'd rather hear about them some other time.
Okay, when?
Oh, tomorrow afternoon with Big Jughead. Listen, I don't know. Just be quiet.
Okay.
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 Jughead.
Oh, all right.
Archie, will you please take them out of here before I lose my temper?
Oh, sure, Dad. As soon as I call Veronica.
Look,
Oh, just take a minute, Dad.
Oh, all right, Archie. Go ahead and call Veronica. But for Pete's sake, hurry up.
Okay, Dad, okay. Listen, Jug, I want...
Here's your tea, dear.
My what?
Your tea.
But, Mom, I didn't ask for any tea.
I know you didn't, but you should have some. It'll help your throat. Now drink it down.
But, Mom, I gotta call Veronica first. I have to
You
tell...
can call Veronica after you drink
Look,
your tea.
Mary, now don't start another argument here. If he wants to call Veronica, let him call her and get it over and done with. Then he can take his tea upstairs and drink it there.
Oh, all right, but I can't stand here holding this glass of tea all day. Here, Fred, you hold it.
Oh, all right, Mary. Give it here. Huh? Oh, it's hot.
Fred Andrews, you dropped
Oh,
it.
gee whiz.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Mary. I know I dropped it. It was so hot it nearly burned my hand off.
Fred, good tea.
Look, Mary,
All over the rug.
Mary,
One of my best glasses.
Mary!
Huh?
All right, dear. So I spilled the tea, and I broke the glass. But you had no right having me anything so hot. Now, there's no sense standing here crying over spilled tea. Let's get it cleaned up.
Oh, all right, dear. I'll get the broom and dustpan. But I don't know why you can't hold it glass.
Well, I told you why. It was too darn... Oh, Mick, what's the use? Well, what are you standing here for?
I'm waiting to call Veronica.
Call Veronica? Haven't you done that yet?
Gee whiz, Dad, no. When did I have time?
Oh, me, all right, Archie. Call Veronica.
Okay, Dad, okay. Jug, I want you to call her for me.
Huh?
Jug, with this voice, nobody can hear me on the phone, so you call Veronica and tell her about my voice and that I can't make it tonight.
Oh, okay, Archie.
Okay, thanks, Jug.
Number, please.
Riverdale 318.
One moment, please. 318.
Is she getting it?
Uh-huh.
Good. Remember to tell Veronica how sorry I am, huh?
Hello.
Hello, Veronica. This is Jughead.
Oh, hi, Jug.
Veronica, I'm calling for Archie.
For Archie.
Yeah, he can't talk. He's got neuritis.
You what?
Laryngitis, Jug, laryngitis.
I mean laryngitis.
Attaboy, Jug.
Laryngitis? Jughead, what are you talking about? I saw Archie at the game this afternoon. He was fine then.
Yeah, I know. But he said to tell you he can't talk now and that he can't take you out tonight and he's sorry.
Attaboy, Jug.
Oh, is that so?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the phoniest story I ever heard.
Oh, it isn't phony, Veronica. He really can't talk.
Attaboy,
Oh,
Jug.
is that so? Well, if you ask me, Archie just wants to break his date with me and hasn't got the nerve to say so himself.
Oh, no, Veronica. He really has laryngitis.
Attaboy, Jug.
Well, if you don't mind, Jughead, I don't believe it.
I don't mind.
Oh, you don't?
Attaboy, Jug.
Well, if it makes any difference to you, I think Archie is just a coward and a two-timer.
Huh? Now listen, Veronica, you can't talk about my friend that way.
Attaboy, huh? Hey, what are you saying?
Oh, I can't I? Well, you can just tell Archie Andrews that if he doesn't keep our date tonight, I
I'll never talk to him again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jughead, what?
Well, listen, Veronica, if that's the way you feel, don't talk to him again.
What now, Jughead?
And for that matter, you'll see if he ever takes you out again.
Jughead, no.
And furthermore, I don't care if you never give him a date again, so then.
Jug, what are you saying, Jug?
Well, of all the nerve. You can tell Archie Andrews I never want to see him again.
Okay, that suits me fine.
But, Jug, let me talk to her. I just want to tell her that you...
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, I guess I told her a thing or two.
Jughead.
Yeah?
Jughead, what did you do?
I told her where to get off. That's what I did. Think she can tell me you're lying and get away with it. No, sir. She knows now how I think you feel about her. She knows now how you... Gee whiz. That was your date, wasn't it?
Yes, Jughead, that certainly was my date. And what did you go and do? I'll bet that you...
Archie, how long is this going to go on?
But, Dad, you don't know what Jughead just did. He got Veronica mad at me.
Archie, look, I don't know who got mad at whom, but I do know I'm going to get mad at somebody if things don't quiet down around here.
But, Dad, I got to call Veronica back and tell her that
you
Jughead...
can't call Veronica back because she couldn't hear you. Now, why don't you be sensible about this and just go on upstairs and write her a letter?
A letter?
Yes, Archie, you write her a nice, long, quiet letter explaining the whole thing and apologizing for what Jughead said, and then Jughead can take the letter over to her and everything will be fine.
Oh, gee whiz, Dad, that's a swell idea. Let's go upstairs right now, Jug.
The broom and dustpan, Fred. I want you to sweep up that broken glass.
Yes, Mary. Mary, what's all that other junk?
Fred, this isn't junk. It's for Archie.
Huh?
This is some chest rub and a flannel cloth and some safety pins.
A chest rub?
Yes, dear. I want to rub some on your neck and chest. It'll draw off the inflammation.
Oh, great. Mary, couldn't you do that upstairs? I'm trying
Fred,
to...
don't be silly. It'll just take half a minute.
But I want...
Archie, open your shirt.
But, Mary,
Fred, please. I'm trying to fix Archie's laryngitis so he can talk again.
He's making too darn much noise now.
What?
It's nothing, dear. Now, go ahead. Rub his neck, rub his chest, rub anything you want to, but get it over and done with.
I am, dear. Now, you sweep up that glass. Archie, lift your chin.
But, Mom, I don't want to...
Now, Archie, don't you start giving me any trouble. This medicine will help you.
Gee whiz, okay.
Okay. Now, just take some out of the jar and smear it on your neck. There. Now, rub it in good.
Mom, that tickles.
Archie, stand still.
I can't. You're tickling me.
Archie, stop squirming.
Are you killing me?
Archie, for Pete's sake, let your mother get that over and done with.
Okay. There. All done. Now, Archie, was that so bad?
I guess not.
Of course not. You'll see that medicine will work wonders for your voice. It's wonderful stuff.
Yeah? But does it smell?
Jughead, be quiet.
And you can go upstairs.
Oh, I'm glad that's settled. Maybe now I can lie down and get some... Fred,
what is it?
It bit me. It stuck me. It cut me.
Fred, what cut you?
She really sat on the safety pin.
Get it. Kill it. Catch it. The safety pin. I sat on safety pins.
Uh-huh.
Gee whiz.
Oh, shush.
Huh?
Fred Andrews, of all the ridiculous things, why don't you look where you sit down?
Mary, my not looking where I sit down isn't half as ridiculous as you're putting open safety pins on a couch.
Oh, Fred, I'm sorry.
I should think you would be. All I want to do is lie down and take a nap, and now look at me.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Andrews. You can still sleep on your stomach.
Jug, be quiet.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Mary, is it asking too much to want to lie down for just a little while?
Fred, of course not. Archie's going upstairs right now, and I'm going out into the kitchen, so go ahead and lie down.
Oh, great.
Come on, Jug. I'll write that letter now.
Yeah, good idea.
And call me if you want anything, Archie.
I will, Mom.
Oh, I'm glad that's over and done with. Oh, now if fate is with me, I might just possibly be able to take a little snooze. Oh, that feels good. Now, this I might have known. Mary, doorbell's ringing. But, Mary, Oh, me, I should have known better than to ask. I've never seen anything like this. Not a moment of rest.
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, fine. Betty.
How's Archie, Mr. Andrews?
He's loud. He's not so good. Did you want to see him, Betty?
If you don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't mind. I'll call him. Archie. Archie Andrews, would you mind answering me? Oh, fine. Well, Jughead, tell him Betty's here and wants to see him.
I don't have to tell him, Mr. Andrews. He can hear all right.
Oh, me. Well, then come on down, Archie.
He's coming down, Mr. Andrews. Here I am, Dad.
No. It's about time. Archie, what happened to the cloth your mother put on your neck?
Oh, I took it off, Dad. It was itchy. Hiya, Betty.
Hello, Archie. How do you feel?
Rotten.
Oh, that's too bad, Archie, but I brought you something.
Oh, a present?
No, a spray.
A what?
A spray for your throat. It's supposed to be wonderful for laryngitis. Open your mouth and I'll spray you.
Oh, great. Betty, would you mind?
Oh, this will only take a minute, Mr. Andrews. Go ahead, Archie. Open your mouth.
I give up. I absolutely give up.
Huh?
Betty, look, you and Archie and Jughead, you just stay right here. And you spray Archie. Spray him to your heart's content. Give him 3 coats if you like. But I am going upstairs.
Well, Mr. Andrews, what about you now?
Jughead, that's why I'm going upstairs. Now get back. Good sleep down there.
Gee, your father sounds angry, Archie. Oh, he'll get over it, Jughead. But listen, Betty, is that spray any good?
Oh, sure it is, Archie. The doctor prescribed it for my father's laryngitis a few months ago, and it cured him in one day.
Well, okay, Betty, if you think it's real... Go see who that is.
Okay, I'll get it.
Okay, Betty. Go ahead and spray me.
Say ah. Here goes.
Betty, that's awful stuff. That's the worst tasting... The worst... Gee whiz! My voice! It's back.
Oh, golly, I didn't think it worked that quick.
Well, I didn't either, Betty, but something fixed it. Oh, Betty, I could kiss you.
Oh, that isn't just nothing.
Yes, really. Well, just
Gee whiz, you're talking English again.
No, Miss Andrews, you haven't laryngitis, have you?
But, Veronica, I didn't.
You're too sick to keep your date with me.
Well, Veronica, you don't understand.
I have my kissing this little flirt.
What's going on?
Flirt? Who's a flirt? You are.
I'm a what?
Oh, is that so, you cat?
Betty, will you...
Betty, I'll slap your face.
Now, Veronica,
Archie, when did you learn to talk?
When my back was turned.
Jughead, don't... Jerry, Stop her. Look, quiet. There, that's better. Now, listen to me, all of you. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, dear. Yes, Dad.
Half an hour ago, I decided to take a nap. But then, because my son had to yell his head off at a football game and lost his voice,
Fred, what did you say?
I said because Archie was yelling. Oh, good grief, Mary. Now I've lost my voice.
Oh, no.
Oh, thank you.
Archie will be back in just a minute. But first, ask a youngster under school age what he'd like to be when he grows up, and he's apt to say a truck driver or a policeman or a train engineer. But let your girl or boy get into his teens, and you're pretty apt to find his mind is on getting college training for what he wants to be, which is all to the good. Only, if you're the parents of children like that, better join the payroll savings plan fast to make sure you'll have that money for college tuition. Yes, sir and ma'am, get going with that payroll savings plan where you work. You save something every payday, maybe a little, but something, and it mounts up. And the payroll savings plan is an investment as well as a savings plan. Buys you safe, solid United States savings bonds. Savings bonds that pay you interest at a great rate. $4 back in just 10 years for every $3 you save now. $400 for your $300, and so on. So join now. The payroll savings plan where you work. And now, back to the Andrews. It's later that evening, and Mr. Andrews is still nursing his laryngitis.
Oh, Mary, do I have to keep this stuff on my neck? It smells so.
Now, Fred, it's the only thing that'll help. Betty's spray didn't seem to do you any good.
Oh, me. All right, dear, all right.
Mom, I'm going now.
Going? Where's he going?
Out, dear. Since his voice cleared up, I didn't see any point in making the boy stay home.
Yup, and I better hurry or we'll be late. Late for what?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Dad. Betty canceled her party, and we're all going down to the stadium to see a nice football game.
Oh, no.
You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie was played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone. Mom and Dad Andrews are played by Alice Uhrman and Arthur Cole, Veronica and Betty by Yvonne Mann and Rosemary Rice. This program is produced and directed by Kenneth McGregor. Listen next Saturday for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Bob Sherry wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. So long. Stay tuned for Meet the Meats, which will be heard immediately over most of these stations.
That was Archie from 1948, and now a later episode of The Aldrich Family. This is from November 16th, 1952.
Thursday, meet the new Plymouth. Thursday, enter the big Plymouth contest. But right now, Plymouth presents...
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
Yes, it's The Aldrich Family. Written by Clifford Goldsmith. Transcribed and brought to your family by Plymouth.
Get set for a new kind of low-priced car. Go to your nearby Plymouth showroom Thursday. Meet the new Plymouth. Yes, the 1953 Plymouth is a new kind of car. First truly balanced car in the low-priced field. And what a difference Plymouth's True Balance makes. A beautiful new look, a remarkable new ride. And Thursday's the day your Plymouth dealer says, come on in and meet the new Plymouth.
There's going to be a big Plymouth contest, too, starting Thursday. Your chance to win yourself a beautiful new Plymouth free or one of hundreds of cash prizes.
Full details from your nearby Plymouth dealer on Thursday when you go in to meet the new 53 Plymouth.
Families today are pretty much the same as families yesterday. Fathers and mothers and children never change very much from one generation to another. And the ever-present spark plug is always a typical teenage boy like Henry Aldrich. The scene is the Aldrich dining room. The time is morning.
Could you please pass the toast, Mary?
Another piece, Henry.
Yes, please. And Father?
Well?
Can I please have another egg?
Dear, that'll make 3 eggs.
Yes, Mother.
Henry, your normal appetite is rather frightening, but now you're eating like a man with a purpose.
Gee whiz, I do have a purpose, Father. I'm building myself up. I'm on the debating team.
You're on the debating team, dear?
Well, I'm not exactly on it, Mother. I'm really just trying out for it. They're having the trials this afternoon.
How did you happen to go out for debating, Henry?
Well, it's just sort of the kind of thing that appeals to me. Mother, would it be too much trouble to open a can of sardines?
Sardines for breakfast?
Well, everyone says that fish is brain food. Isn't that so, Father?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't keep them from getting caught.
Aren't you going to finish your toast, Mary?
Here, you can have it.
Thanks. And will you please pass the marmalade?
How much do you have to weigh to make the debating team?
Well, I don't have to weigh anything. But I don't see any point in going to a thing half-heartedly.
Well, dear, if you do make the team, I hope Aunt Harriet will come to hear you speak.
She just won't believe her ears.
Well, gee whiz, why should everybody be so amazed just because I'm anxious to improve my mind? I think everybody ought to improve their mind.
No sense in overdoing it, though.
Oh, I won't go overboard, Father.
On which side of the debate are you speaking?
On which side?
You have 2 sides, haven't you?
Father, they don't even have a team yet.
Do you really think you can make the team, dear?
Well, I hope so, Mother. I'd hate to be doing all this eating for nothing.
Oh, I don't think it'll be entirely wasted.
Oh, would you excuse me, please, while I run upstairs and get some notes I've got to use?
Yes, dear. Sam, I'm simply delighted.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Henry made a good debater. He's sort of a chip off the old block. He has a quick mind. Thinks fast on his feet.
Who do you suppose that is, Mother?
Don't bother to come to the door, anybody. Is Henry through eating?
Well, hello, Willie. Henry will be down in just a minute.
How does he feel this morning, Mrs. Aldrich? Is he a little nervous?
Why should he be nervous?
Well, you know, trying out for the debating team. It can be pretty nerve-wracking.
Oh, Henry didn't act like he was nervous.
He didn't eat like it either.
Are you going to try out for the team, Willie?
Oh, no. I'm on it.
How many eggs do you eat a day?
Eggs?
Yes, to keep yourself in good condition for debating.
Oh, I'm not on the talking end of the team.
On which end are you?
I'm the manager. What I really went out for was the track team, but my legs went back on me.
What are the duties of a manager?
Well, for one thing, I correspond.
You correspond with whom?
With all the other managers. We get together and correspond. Sort of write letters, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's quite an accomplishment.
I'm sure you do it very well, Willie.
Yes, ma'am. I worry about it quite a lot.
And you persuaded Henry to go out for the debating team?
Oh, no, sir. That was on account of Ellen.
Ellen?
Yes, sir. Ellen Standish.
What does she have to do with it?
She's very pretty. And she's also on the team.
I know who she is. Mother, she's that girl that can talk your head off.
That's the one.
Ellen Standish?
She's very pretty, though.
But she is the one that talks a lot.
Sure. To everyone except Henry. And he figured that if he could get on the team, she'd talk to him.
Well, that explains Henry's sudden craving for the finer things.
Yes, sir. But she's pretty, Mr. Aldrich. It's been a great pleasure for me just to manage her.
Ellen Standish.
Well?
I just finished my tryout for the debating team.
Oh, did you?
Sure. I thought perhaps you'd be glad to know I may be on the team with you. Are you going down the hall a ways?
I'm going into the library here.
Oh.
Say, Henry, is that you?
What is it, Homer?
Hello, Ellen. I just finished my tryout.
Are you going out for the team, too?
Sure, we'll all be together.
Oh. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Ellen. Ellen?
Henry, they said you and I should wait in the classroom across the hall until the tryouts are all over.
Okay, let's go in. Boy, I sure hope I make the team.
Oh, what subject did you talk about?
I talked about how I helped my mother grow tomatoes last summer.
Henry, it isn't pronounced tomato.
It isn't?
No. In parliamentary procedure, it's tomato.
Tomato? Well, who do you know that calls it tomato? Did you ever hear anybody talk about French fried potatoes?
That isn't the point, Henry. Common people call it tomato. But when you're trying to make the debating team, it's tomato.
Hey, fellas, I got some great news for you.
You have, Willie? Did we make the team?
The faculty is in conference right now. I'll let you know as soon as they tell me.
Hey, Willie!
What were you going to ask him, Henry?
Whether I could give part of my speech over. As a matter of fact, Homer, I know a lot of people who aren't common who say tomato.
Well, Henry, all I know is that if I had to stand up before 3 members of the faculty, I'd be mighty sure I said tomato.
Boy. The part that makes me mad, Homer, is I could have just as well said asparagus and been on safe ground.
Hey, fellas, the meeting's over.
What did they decide, Willie?
Yeah, what?
Well, one of you guys is going to be awfully disappointed.
We are? Well, tell us which one it is.
Now, listen, Henry, I'm the manager, and I'll make the announcement when I'm good and ready. Besides, it shouldn't make any difference to you how they decide it.
You mean I didn't make it?
No. They liked Homer's voice better.
They did? No kidding.
Sure, it carries farther. They say they can hear your voice even in the last row of the balcony. Lucy Adams also made the team. Well, I gotta go back and attend to some correspondence.
Gee, Henry, I'm sorry.
Oh, gee, there's nothing to be sorry about, Homer. If you want to know the truth, I'm glad I didn't make it. With Lucy Adams on it and everything.
Ellen Standish is on it.
You know, Homer, we've been friends for a long time, haven't we?
Sure.
Well, I was just thinking. You've done a lot of nice things for me, so I'm going to do you a favor.
You are?
Sure. I'm willing to take your place on the team, just out of friendship, and I won't charge you a cent.
Why?
Well, don't you want to get off the team?
When did I say that?
Well, I shouldn't think you'd want to be on it.
Hey, Henry, what do you think?
What, Willie?
You made the team.
And I didn't?
No, you're on it too, Homer.
I am? Henry, that gets rid of Lucy Adams.
No, it doesn't. She's on the team, too.
Well, whose place do I take?
Ellen Standish's.
Ellen's?
Ellen's?
Yes, she just resigned.
There, Homer. Now do you see what you've done?
It isn't Homer's fault. Ellen says she's entirely too nervous to debate.
Hello, Henry. Congratulations.
Oh, hello, Lucy.
Isn't it wonderful?
Henry, I'm going home.
But, Homer, haven't you heard?
Lucy, you don't think debating is going to make you nervous, do you?
Oh, no, I feel wonderful.
I think I'll resign.
Henry, you aren't going to resign just as we've got our first debate scheduled, are you?
For when, Willie?
Didn't you know? For a week from next Friday night.
I've been corresponding about it since last August.
Well, who are we debating with?
Middletown High School.
The subject is resolve. That the steam engine has contributed more to the progress of civilization than the horse.
Well, on which side are we?
The horses.
We take the negative?
Sure. We don't believe in steam engines.
Henry, don't you think the horse has done more than the steam engine?
I don't know, Lucy.
Henry, you don't seem interested.
Lucy, I just don't think I'm going to be any good at this. If I can't convince myself, how am I going to convince a whole auditorium full of people?
But that's the way I felt at first. Here, will you have a cookie my mother baked?
No, thank you.
They have fudge fillings.
Fudge fillings? Well, I'll try just half of one.
Here. Think of what the horse has done for agriculture, Henry. 60% of the farms in this country still use horses.
Is that right? May I have the other half of that cookie?
Sure, here. And Henry, how did the covered wagons cross the plains?
By horse?
By horse. Our forefathers didn't know what a steam engine was.
Well, that's true, Lucy. And you always have cookies like this?
Oh, of course. See how interesting it is?
Well, it's beginning to show some possibilities. Excuse me for reaching in front of you.
When you get through with those cookies, Henry, there are some more in the kitchen. Oh, my goodness, I wonder whether that's Willie phoning.
Willie?
Hello?
Hello, Lucy.
Oh, is that you, Homer?
Yes, is Henry there?
Henry.
Gee whiz, what does Homer want?
Here.
Oh, Homer.
Can't you get away from her, Henry?
Not exactly.
Boy, do I pity you. Do you know what I dug up in the library this afternoon?
What?
All about the Eohippus.
The whatopus?
The Eohippus. It was a prehistoric horse, and it stood less than 2 feet high.
What was it used for?
I don't think it was used for anything. But I think we ought to mention it, Henry. It'll show we dug into it. They had 4 toes.
4? Imagine.
Henry, will you have another cookie?
Sure, thanks, Lucy.
Cookie?
And Homer, did you ever think of this? How do they speak of a steam engine?
How?
By its horsepower.
Sure.
Boy, Henry, that's wonderful.
Write it down, Lucy.
And I'll write down about the Eohippus.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, honorable judges, worthy opponents, the subject we've been asked to discuss this evening is resolve.
Henry, do you have to wave your arms?
Was I waving my arms, Father?
Go on.
When we are through, ladies and gentlemen, it will be clearly seen that the horse is one animal that cannot be replaced.
What time does the debate begin this evening?
At 8:15, and boy, Father, we're a cinch to win. Where was I?
The horse is an animal that cannot be replaced.
Oh, yeah. What are steam engines made of, ladies and gentlemen? Of steel and iron, and steel and coal. And how do they first get them out of the mines? I'll tell you how. It'll be a pleasure. By a horse. Father, don't you think that's going to knock him for a loop?
I'm afraid it will.
I prepared this whole thing in a week. And what makes pulleys go round? Belts. And what are belts made of? From horses' hides. And what was the first machine ever made? A cart. And what pulled the cart? A horse. And how about Paul Revere? It's common gossip, known by every school child, how he saved America with a horse. And then, Father, I go on and I end up with a long speech about the Eohippus.
The Eohippus?
Yes, sir. It was a prehistoric horse that hardly came up to my knees. Don't you think it's pretty good?
Well, it has 1 or 2 weak points, Henry.
Yeah, but, Father, what you've heard is only 1/3 of our argument. We've divided it into 3 parts. I cover the horse as a historical contribution, Homer covers it during the present, and Lucy covers it from the female point of view.
Henry, I've just pressed your blue serge suit for you.
Thank you, Mother.
And when you get up on the platform, don't turn your back to the audience.
Why not, Mother?
The seat is shiny.
Henry, do you mind if I raise 1 or 2 questions?
You mean there's something about my speech that puzzled you?
Well, in the first place, iron is not hauled out of mines by horses, but by mules.
Well, Father, I don't like to argue, but when you get right down to it, a mule is sort of a horse.
A mule is a mule.
I could show you a book that says a mule is a horse.
I'd like to see it.
Well, anyway, I don't think that's the point, Father. The question is, which has done more for civilization?
Well, supposing your worthy opponents remind your audience that the first cart was not pulled by a horse, but by a man.
No horse?
No horse.
Not even an Eohippus?
No, sir. And supposing they mention the fact that very good driving belts are made not only from horse hide, but from cow hide.
But, Father, you keep evading the issue. What I'm talking about is horses.
All right, then let's talk about them.
In what way did Paul Revere's horse help promote progress?
Well, it stands to reason. If he hadn't had a horse, he wouldn't have been able to spread the alarm before the enemy came. Supposing he had to wait around until the steam engine was invented.
And by what means was the enemy approaching?
On horseback.
In other words, it was a case of one horse trying to get away from a number of other horses. Therefore, the horses all cancel each other out and have nothing to do with the case.
Did you say that again, Father? Make it a little clearer.
I'm a lawyer. I don't have to be clear.
Henry!
Yes, Mother?
It's time for you to go upstairs and wash.
Already?
Yes, dear. Dinner's on the table.
Dinner? Well, gee, Mother, it's a funny thing, but all of a sudden something happened to my stomach.
Well, what's the matter, dear? Have you lost your confidence?
I just wish I hadn't got mixed up in this darn debate.
Now, dear, you go upstairs and get washed. You'll feel better.
Yes, Mother. You and Father aren't going to sit down in front, are you?
We are.
Well, don't do that, Father. Every time I see your face, I'll forget all about horses.
Henry, please go upstairs.
Yes, Mother. I feel just as though I were sitting on the guillotine.
Sam, did I overhear you criticizing Henry's talk?
I was simply pointing out one or two of his weak spots. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, my goodness, Sam, now he'll just brood about it. You know how Henry is.
I'll answer the phone. Maybe the debate's being called off.
There, Sam, is a very good example of how you've unnerved him.
Alice, I give you my word. I was simply trying to help the boy.
Well, I'm quite sure that if I had to stand up before an audience of several hundred people, I wouldn't want my father to upset me just before I went on.
Henry!
Yes, Father?
When you're through on the phone, come in here.
Yes, sir.
Sam, you're going to wear your best suit, aren't you?
Just to go over to the high school?
Well, dear, I bought a new hat. After all, we don't want to be a disgrace to Henry. And I do want Henry to win, if only because of that Ellen Standish.
What has she done?
Well, Mary heard that Ellen got off the team just because Henry was on it.
Gee whiz, is Lucy nervous? Poor kid.
Well, don't you be nervous, Henry. Your father and I are trying not to be. What did Lucy call you about?
Just to say she's so scared she can't eat her dinner.
Well, you should have told her to have a cup of tea. That's all I'm going to have.
Henry.
I'm going up and finish washing.
Before you go up...
Is there something more wrong with my speech?
Well, I'd like to explain that the only reason I criticized your talk was to find out how much you believed in it.
Oh.
You see, if you don't believe with all your heart and soul that the horse has been more important, then the judges won't believe you.
Oh, but I do believe it, Father. Well, I suppose I'm a little sentimental about it, but it isn't just for my sake and for yours that I want to win. It's really for all horses in general.
Henry, could I speak to you for a minute?
Where did you come from, Willie?
I just met the Middletown debating team at the station. And boy, have they made a mess of things.
How?
Well, we're taking the negative of the argument, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, so are they.
You mean they've taken our side?
Yes. Can you imagine a dirty trick like that?
How could a thing like that have happened?
Well, something seems to have gone wrong with the correspondence.
Willie, you mean it was really your fault?
Henry, I'd like you to see all the correspondence I've handled on this. I bet you'd make one or two minor mistakes yourself.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, Mr. Bradley, our principal, says our team has to take the other side.
The other side? Willie, you mean I have to be a traitor to the horse?
We'll return to the Aldrich family in just a moment.
What's new? The 53 Plymouth, it's news. The 53 Plymouth, the low-price field has a brand new star. The truly balanced Plymouth, a new kind of car. A new kind of car.
New kind of car is right. The 53 Plymouth is new from the wheels up. A whole new concept of car design. New styling, new beauty, inside and out. A wonderful new ride. Plymouth Announcement Day is this coming Thursday, so plan now to make tracks to your nearby Plymouth dealers Thursday.
You'll be thrilled when you see the new Plymouth. Delighted when you get behind the wheel and handle the controls. And here's a tip. Pay particular attention to the new features of the Plymouth. 75 new features in all. Because there's a big Plymouth contest this year with $25,000 in prizes. Just for telling what you like most about this great new beauty. First prize, a sleek, racy 53 Plymouth convertible. Win it and be the envy of the neighborhood. Next 5 winners get new Plymouth sedans. And there are hundreds of cash prizes.
It's fun, easy to enter, and you get full details from your Plymouth dealer. See him Thursday for your entry blank and meet the new 53 Plymouth.
And now getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Well, after working on a debate for 10 days, Henry has just learned that his team has been preparing the wrong side. The scene opens in the high school principal's office. The time is that same evening.
But, Mr. Bradley, it isn't fair to the team. It isn't even fair to the audience.
Henry, the mistake was made by our manager. The least we can do is take the affirmative and go ahead with the debate.
But in the meantime, how about the horse?
I think the horse will understand.
But, Mr. Bradley, we memorized our speeches word for word. I've even learned a whole eulogy to the horse. I can't just give the whole thing and insert the word steam engine instead of horse, can I?
Henry, why do we have debates?
Well...
In order to develop our faculties for thinking and reasoning.
But don't you see, Mr. Bradley, I'm no good at a thing like that. I can't argue.
You're doing a pretty good job of it right now.
But I'm losing.
Yes. But you're developing your faculties. Come in.
Mr. Bradley, is Henry in here?
Yes, Lucy.
Well, look, Henry, could we ask Mr. Bradley to do this?
To do what?
Well, why don't both teams agree right at the start that the horse has made the greatest contribution to civilization, and then let the judges decide which team is the most sincere?
Sure, Mr. Bradley, that would be interesting.
No. The Middletown team are our guests, and the least we can do is have a difference of opinion with them. Yes?
Mr. Bradley, is the school nurse here?
What's the matter, Homer?
Well, it's a funny thing, but I have chills and a headache.
Chills and a headache?
Yes, sir, and my jaws hurt. I think I'm coming down with the mumps.
Didn't you have the mumps last fall, Homer?
But, Mr. Bradley, I've just been talking with the Middletown team. They don't feel half as keen about the horse as we do. Why don't we be generous and give them the steam engine?
Henry and Homer, you have exactly 30 minutes in which to prepare your arguments. Middletown will take the negative. And if Centerville is half the high school I think it is, we shall take the affirmative. What is more, ladies and gentlemen, members of the faculty, since the Centerville team has just learned at the last moment that it must change sides, it will, so to speak, be swapping horses in the middle of the stream in favor of the steam engine. And I suppose that the pitcher of water that rests on this stand is for the affirmative to make steam with and for the negative to give to their horses. The first speaker for the negative, I mean the affirmative, yes, the affirmative is Homer Brown.
The question we have been asked to discuss was... Oh, boy. I mean... Ladies and gentlemen and honorable judges. Speaking of man's best friend, the horse, the steam engine, instead of boring you for my full 6 minutes, I believe I can prove my point in practically less than a minute.
And what is more, ladies and gentlemen, when a lady who lives in Chicago sees a hat that she wants in New York, how do they get it to her? By horseback? No!
The next point I wish to bring to your attention is that little run of a beast, the Eohippus, that was never good for anything at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard both sides of the argument and the rebuttal for the negative. The Centerville team did not utilize all of its original time, and I do not know whether any of its members would care to take part in the rebuttal. If so, we will now hear from Henry Aldrich.
Mr. Chairman, Centerville High School has several things to say. My worthy opponents have tried to impress on you that if it weren't for the horse, we wouldn't have any steel or iron with which to build steam engines. May I ask, where they ever got any such idea as that? Horses aren't used in mines. Mules are. The next point. My worthy opponent says that the first cart was pulled by a horse. For his information, a man pulled the first cart. And now they're glad to ride in steam engines and relax. Then how did the Middletown team get here this evening? By another steam engine. And another point. My opponents would have you believe that if it hadn't been for Paul Revere's horse, we wouldn't be here in this happy, carefree land. But what was Paul Revere's horse trying to get away from? More horses. It was horses, ladies and gentlemen, that was causing all the trouble. And I ask you, is that what you could call progress? No. No, 1,000 times no. The affirmative rests.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the judges retire to try to reach their decision, a very difficult decision, I'm sure, the orchestra will entertain us with a number which they had rehearsed before they discovered their own team was to take the affirmative. It is called Light Cavalry Overture.
Sam, haven't the judges reached the decision yet?
I think they're coming on stage right now.
Do you think Henry won?
I don't know, Alice.
Well, I thought he talked beautifully, and he certainly looked better than any of the boys on the Middletown team.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Quiet, Alice. Mr. Bradley's going to announce the decision.
after careful consideration, the judges have voted unanimously in favor of the negative.
Which side is the negative, Sam?
Middletown.
You mean Henry lost?
He did.
I should like to congratulate not only the winners, but our team as well. In spite of the fact that we lost, never have I heard finer examples of extemporaneous speaking. If I hadn't known to the contrary, I would have said that the last speaker, Henry Aldrich, had prepared his rebuttal in advance.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Fontaine?
I happen to be one of the judges. May I ask, was the negative Middletown?
The negative was Middletown.
Well, the manager who gave us our slips of paper to mark the verdict on apparently got things twisted. Regardless of which side they had, the decision went to Centerville.
Sam, we won. Let's go up and shake Henry's hand. I just wish that Ellen Standish's mother could have been here tonight.
Hello, Mother. How are you?
Henry, let me take your hand.
Gee whiz, it was because of you, Father, that we got the decision.
Well, I was worried for a few minutes, though. I was afraid Middletown would mention the fact that most of the British troops were not on horseback, but on foot.
You mean they weren't on horseback?
Not so far as I know.
Well, gee whiz.
Sam, have you seen the morning paper?
No, Alice, what's the news?
Listen to this. Before a capacity audience last night, Centerville High School defended the negative side of a heated battle in which they were particularly effective in arguing for the affirmative. Henry Aldrich kept the visiting opponents completely baffled to the very end as to whether he favored the colonists or the British.
Henry, is that you in the kitchen?
Yes, Father.
Henry, are you eating more cookies after cleaning out the cookie jar at Lucy's house?
Well, gosh, Father, a fella gets hungry all over again after walking home.
Now, Henry.
No wonder I'm always hungry. All I ever do is walk. Walk here, walk there.
If there's a hidden meaning to this walkie-talkie conversation, please bring it out in the open, because I'm going to bed.
Hidden meaning, Father?
I think the last time you acquainted me with your walking expeditions, it ended with a sales talk to buy you a car.
Oh, you won't have to buy this one, Father. It's free. A Plymouth convertible. First prize in the big Plymouth contest. Well, if I wasn't too young, I'd enter myself. But I figure with my help, you'd be a cinch to win.
Oh, please, Henry, not tonight. I'm a bit tired.
No, not tonight, Father. The contest doesn't start till Thursday. That's when the new Plymouth comes out.
All right. Remind me Thursday, and we'll go down and see the new Plymouth. Now, will you get up to bed?
Yes, Father, just as soon as I finish these cookies. Boy, a new Plymouth convertible.
The Aldrich Family is transcribed as written by Clifford Goldsmith. Henry is played by Bobby Ellis, and Homer by Jack Grimes. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jameson and Catherine Roth. Your announcer is Dick Dudley.
Good night, everybody. And remember, you have an important date Thursday to meet the new 53 Plymouth.
Tonight, it's the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show on NBC.